got safety protocol.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome in another episode, Full Send Half Mast Podcast. Tonight on this awesome Tuesday, we got some things to talk about. We got some races this weekend. We had the Truck Series finale for the first round of the playoffs. We'll take a look at the standings there. Who got eliminated? Who's moving on after another dominating performance by Corey Heim? Also, we had a little bit of Formula One action this weekend at Baku. A little bit of drama, a little shakeup in the World Championship standings as Max Verstappen, man, maybe closing his way back into this outside shot. We'll talk about that here tonight to see if he can maybe close that gap. Also, the NASCAR Cup Series at New Hampshire for the first race of the round of 12. Talk about that and some of the drama included in that race as well. And then this weekend, we also had the penultimate race of the championship for the WeatherTech Sports Car Challenge with the Battle at the Bricks, Indianapolis. And we'll talk about all the drama and everything that ensued this weekend and a dominating performance by Cadillac. Also, a little bit of news I want to talk about with you guys here tonight as well. Some silly season rumors and dramas, as well as our infamous driver and bonehead of the week. So we'll take a look at a lot of the playoffs and standings for NASCAR. We'll take a look at the F1 drivers and constructor standings as those are actually tightening up as we're getting towards the ending stretch of the season. We'll talk about the IMSA Championship and maybe my thoughts and predictions going into the finale at Petit Le Mans next month, as well as the race previews for this upcoming weekend's races with the ARCA Xfinity Cup Series at Kansas and the World Endurance Championship, their penultimate round this weekend at Fuji for the 6-hour race. I'll give you my favorite star courses of what to expect with these weekend's races, and then wrap it all off this evening with some NASCAR fantasy lineup for this weekend's races at Kansas. First off, let's start off with a little bit of news. We got Randall Burnett, crew chief for Kyle Busch over at RCR, crew chief for, I believe, Tyler Reddick when he came into the sport as well. Maybe one of those crew chiefs that you thought maybe was going to be the next big thing, the next elite crew chief. Him and Reddick had a lot of success together. Won a couple races together. Looked like they were going to kind of build a dynasty. Kyle Busch goes over to the 8 car once Reddick leaves, and him and Kyle Busch kick it off really good right off the rip. And it's been kind of downhill since then. Well, Zilich gets pick of the litter here. So he is moving over to Trackhouse in 2026, paired up with Connor Zilich, which I think is a great option. I mean, there's no crew chief that would have said no to wanting to partner with Connor Zilich, championship quality driver, generational talent, probably the best NASCAR driver that's graced NASCAR since probably like Jeff Gordon. So this is a great pickup for Trackhouse. I think it's great for Randall Burnett. Let's see if he still has it and see if he can still put these races together. If he's got the fundamentals down on this next gen car, being able to maybe mentor or hone the ability of Zilich as he's going to be in a big, basically playing with the Sharks next year, big open pool pond, getting to the deep end, trying to figure out this cup car, trying to adapt to cup races, longer races, learn how this car works, how it drives, hone his craft. It's going to be an interesting combination. But Zilich, basically, it's pick of the litter. Randall Burnett, crew chief in 2026 at Trackhouse. I'm excited, man. I'm actually excited about this. Big Zilich fan. I want to see him win as many races next year as possible. I think he has the absolute ability to do it. Pair him with a good crew chief. We'll see how much investment Trackhouse has in this whole program. It seems like there's a lot. Obviously, Red Bull WeatherTech jumping on as well. Now, the final puzzle piece to be put into place here is which number does he get? And it's fingers crossed. Hopefully, it's the 88. Move SVG to the 97. And let's make everything right in the world. Next, I do want to save this a little bit to the end just because it's a rumor. It's probably not going to happen. I'll save it for the end, especially considering what I talked about last week in regards to this. But IndyCar, silly season, just continues to ramp up. So we got Colton Herta moving over to reserve driver for Cadillac. Will Power leaving Penske, going over to take his place at Andretti. We have Dennis Hauger, champion in the Indy NXT series on the scholarship. Lots of rumors of where he's going to go. Well, we got a lot of that answered. Now it appears that, well, it is official that David Malukas is signed to drive the 12 car Penske for 2026 multi-year deal. Super excited. Usually how these work though is it'll probably be like a 2-year deal with a 3rd-year option. So he'll be like basically given a little bit of a loose chain there for a little while, and then it'll tighten up if he doesn't perform. But with the pace that we've seen him over there at Foyt this last year, all the polls, all the top 5 runs, I mean, all the laps led, I mean, all the excess to finish in second in the Indy 500. I just see this being a natural fit. I'm so excited to see what David Malukas could do. To get David Malukas come back to us, me and Tom were talking about all year this year. Unfortunately, didn't get the win. Did everything but win a race this year. Man, it is going to be an awesome year in 2026 for David Malukas. I have a feeling Penske just had a rough year, 2025. Completely tough year. Obviously, we've talked about it multiple times. The lack of results, the bad luck, the inconsistencies, the penalties at Indianapolis, that whole debacle. There's so many things that just happened at Penske, the reshuffling of people, the firings, just so much things went completely wrong for Penske in 2025. Now going into 2026, they're kind of starting a new chapter. They've got McLaughlin coming back, who honestly was probably the championship favorite. I felt like going into 2025. We'll see what he can do in 2026. New Garden was looking for the 3P in the 8500. There's just so many things. New Garden's coming back. He got that win at the end of the year. Power got a win at the end of the year. Penske was building some momentum towards the end of the year. Now we're bringing in Malukas, who has not had an opportunity at a top tier equipment ride. Obviously, got the big three teams in IndyCar with Ganassi, with Foyt, or no, Ganassi, Andretti, and Penske. And then McLaren, I guess you could kind of put in there as like kind of that fourth team. We'll see. He had that opportunity with McLaren, and obviously McLaren's loyalties and everything kind of fell through. He didn't get to keep that opportunity. Now moving over to Penske, we'll see what he can do, man. I'm excited. I think Malukas is gonna have an opportunity to win several races next year. He's super fast on ovals. You match him with the fast ability that he has on these ovals with a team like Penske, who has been dominating ovals for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It's going to be a match made in heaven. I think Malukas can have a freaking breakout year. I think McLaughlin's going to have a redemption breakout year. I think Newgarden's going to have a breakout redemption year. I think Penske's on the up and up, and I think it all starts here with David Malukas. Now, does it last the full term of the contract, the past that with the option year in year 3? I don't know. I mean, it's all going to depend on how successful he is this year. And then if he goes into 2026, has a very unsuccessful year and doesn't basically kind of match what he did at Foyt or even improve on what he did at Foyt, does Penske kind of maybe think maybe we got to pull the rope? They've got other people in their pipeline coming up through the Indy NXT over these next couple of years that could potentially replace him. It's going to be an interesting thing, but I'm very optimistic. I believe in Malukas. He's got the talent. He's shown it at the Foyt card last year. He's shown it in Del Coin cars a couple years ago. I think Malukas could definitely make some waves and win some races this year. And then, like I mentioned, Dennis Hauger. He's on the Andretti scholarship. He won the Indy NXT championship this year. Dominating season by him. They closed the gap a little bit on him towards the end, but not by a lot. Won just about everywhere on oval, street course, road course. Didn't matter. He was winning everywhere. The rumors were, where was he going to go? The 26 wasn't likely, especially with the Will Power hiring. Even before that, I didn't think that was likely he was going to be an Andretti car. Me and Tom have kind of thrown or heard the rumors or thrown it out maybe that he would end up at Junko's. That didn't come together. But then announced today, Dennis Hauger going to Dale Coyne Racing with a partnership and an alliance with Andretti. So it's kind of like what Penske did with Foyt with Malukas. They're doing that now with Dennis Hauger with Andretti to Dale Coyne. Dale Coyne that is notorious for not announcing driver lineups till the very beginning of the year. We saw that with Renus VK last year. Didn't have a ride until like 2 weeks before the season started. So it's good that they finally got owned a little bit of their driver lineup. I don't know who's going to be in the second car. It was Renus VK split with Dale Coyne. Who's going to be in the 19, who's going to be in the 18. But Dennis Hauger getting a great opportunity to learn as a rookie in IndyCar without the pressure. As we've seen how Kiffin Simpson's kind of flopped under the pressure with the big ride. Nolan Siegel with McLaren has struggled to get his footing. He's going to be kind of in that opposite route. He's going to be he's going to be in the Christian Rasmussen route, who absolutely stood out this year. This is a chance for Dennis Hauger to kind of pull that Christian Rasmussen of 2026 and be kind of that surprise feel-good story who can potentially compete up front and potentially maybe win a race like Christian Rasmussen. I mean, he's got the pace. He's extremely fast. We saw what he did in Indy NXT last year. That wasn't a fluke. That was just pure raw speed. His teammates couldn't match him. I'm excited to see what Dennis Hauger could do. This IndyCar season, man, is shaping up good. We've got so much rumors and everything. And then we also got the announcement that we're getting a doubleheader with NASCAR and IndyCar at Phoenix this year. I'm so excited. I mean, the IndyCar offseason needs to end already. We need to start 2026. I'm super excited. We got Howard making a big-time move to Andretti. We got Hauger coming in as a highly touted rookie with an Andretti alliance at Dale Coyne. Malukas getting his Penske shot. There's a few other dominoes still to fall. Where does Renus VK go? Does he go replace Malukas in the 4? I don't know. What happens with Juco's Hollinger is they've got Stingray and then they got Cooter. Who's going to stay? Who's going to leave? What are they going to do there? Rebranding? I don't know. It's going to be a wild IndyCar season next year. And then obviously you still got Alex Palou leading the charge there. And rumors swirling about him leaving IndyCar to Formula One. So who knows what's going to happen here in 2026. I'm excited to see it. We'll find all that out here very, very shortly. All right, the last little bit of news I did want to cover this evening is I talked about it last week with Haley Deegan not maybe returning to Indy NXT. Well, there's a rumor maybe a couple weeks ago, I think I talked about on the podcast that she was potentially going to get a return back to NASCAR. Hmm. Well, another rumor. I mean, these are just rumors, speculation. Do I believe that these are going to happen? No. Anybody with the right mind, uh, make this happen? No. But her to Ram in the Truck Series? Didn't she complain about the Truck Series? That there was a bunch of clowns and they were untalented hacks and she was getting wrecked all the time, so that's why she went to Xfinity. But she's gonna go back to Ram with the trucks. If I'm someone at Ram, I'm pulling the plug on this idea. Like the fact that this is even a rumor is absolutely comical to me. Ridiculous. I mean, the best route she could have taken was just fade back into the distance, go live on her farm with her go-kart track, race micros at Millbridge, and call it a career, man. But let's be honest. She could have been a spokesperson for Monster or something. Go do some extreme sports or something like that. Like, this is just no way, man. No way, man. You got me all messed up, dude. Hey, we got Tim Henderson in the chat. He says, fuck Penske. All my homies hate Penske. Oh, man. Yeah, dude, exactly. It's a colleague kind of signing. Exactly, man. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, the only team that would do that would be colleague. We've seen them have terrible hires over the last few years, putting in dumb people. I mean, we saw AM Racing fire Brett Moffitt for Haley Deegan, so we've seen a lot of dumb hires. But yeah, this is the most colleague thing for sure. I mean, they have Daniel Hemrick for a while. They finally manned up and got rid of that guy. They had Josh Williams in the car, which was cool for a while because of like the whole Atlanta thing. But it's like the talent's not there. He's not going to win races. And then Daniel Dye, like colleague is just weird, man. I don't know, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll see where Haley Deegan does in 2026. I hope maybe this whole experiment, maybe you'll just be washed and we could just forget that it ever happened. But that's little here nor there. So we'll see what happens in the future in regards to Haley Deegan's future racing endeavors. All right, well, let's talk about the race this weekend. We got the ARCA Series on Saturday. Another dominant performance by Brendan Queen. Austin Reeves was up there battling at the front, had some issues. LeVar Scott looked like he was going to put himself in position to get his first ARCA win, and then kind of lost track position there. The Brendan Queen, man, just really good at managing a race, saving tires, super good on the short tracks. He gets another race win. Pretty much securing this ARCA championship. There's nobody else close enough in points at this point of the season. I'm excited. See, if we're talking about Ram and colleague, the one that we should be putting in a Ram truck next year should be Brendan Queen. I think that's a guy you build an entire franchise around. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of hire you need right there is Brendan Queen. So I don't know. They're gonna have Tony too, I think. Yeah, see, Tony Breininger, might as well throw Haley Deegan in there, might as well throw Big Willie in there, Big Willie Mullins. We got to throw him in a truck, We'll get Cletus in there. And then round it off with Frankie Muniz. We'll just make it a reality TV show team. That'll be your 5-driver lineup. Tony Breininger, Haley Deegan, Big Willie Mullins, Cletus McFarland, and Frankie Muniz. We're going to have a superstar 5-driver lineup for the ages over there at Colleague and Ram. Let's make it happen. Let's put out a petition. Let's do it. Truck Series. Another dominant performance by Corey Heim this weekend. I think this puts him over Greg Biffle's career win record of 9 race wins in a season. I think this puts him over that now at 10 or maybe ties it. Just unbelievable. Me and Tom say it every week when we talk about the Truck Series. Corey Heim, if Corey Heim or Connor Zilic don't win the Xfinity and Truck Championships, it's an absolute crime and shame. And then I feel like I don't want to see that happen. I want to see them both win the championship because they both 100% freaking deserve it. But it's probably going to take both of them losing the championships in dramatic fashion for NASCAR to finally decide, hey, we need to change the point system. This is ridiculous. When you got Zilic winning 10 races, you got Heim winning 10 races, each in both of those series respectively. And if neither of them win the championship, or if they both lose the championship, man, NASCAR's gonna be cooked, man. They're gonna get absolutely berated by fans. Worst case scenario for NASCAR is that both lose the championships. Best case scenario for NASCAR, they both win the championships, and then they can go and tout how this is the greatest system of all time. It rewards winning, blah, 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 blah. Part of me, I want to see him win, but then part of me wants to see them both lose because I want to see NASCAR just absolutely take the heat on this one, man. I just want them to have to put their shield and their guard up to see where it takes them, man. Like, what are they going to do when they both lose the championship? Then NASCAR is going to be on absolute media control. What do they call it? Spin. Yeah, they're gonna do it like the politicians do. They're gonna have a spin team to try and turn the topic to something else. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, man. A few things I did want to talk about in this race. There was one incident with Jason Alexander. Never heard of this guy. Irrelevant. But he's like early in the race, he's in the O2 track. He ends up sending it to the inside of whoever the hell was inside before. It doesn't even matter. It's irrelevant. Both irrelevant. But he just sends it in on the inside. It's like he didn't even break. He just sent it in and then lost it. Just pile drives the wall with the rear end. And then has an absolute mental breakdown, crash out on the radio, blaming the other guy for him dive bombing him into turn one and sending himself into the wall like a damn heat-seeking missile. It's just comical, man. Like, who the hell is this guy? And then he gets out. He's all like, put his head down on his hood or on his roof, just like having an absolute crash out. Like, oh, obviously it was not the only crash out this week, and we'll have another one we'll talk about here in a minute in regards to another guy that I can't stand. We'll get to that when we get a little bit later in this podcast. But the fact of crashing out, man, I mean, that was just absolutely, man. Okay, we're good. I don't know why I froze for a second. Think about how the broadcast crew is for the cup. Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure too. The broadcasting is awful. Where can we tell if people hit the wall? Where we can't tell. Oh, I get what you're saying. That went over my head there for a second. But yeah, this Jason Alexander guy, absolute clown. I'm gonna nominate him as a bonehead of the week. The crash out was comical. I love it. That was I want more of that kind of stuff in NASCAR, especially when he's at fault. It felt like the opposite of like Chris Wright earlier this year at Daytona when he like completely drove into the pit lane and the broadcast or the interviewer gave him an out saying, "Did the brakes go out?" Like trying to give him like an out for that stupid boneheaded move. And then he like says, "No, the brakes didn't go out," and then went to blaming his spotter. It was kind of like that with this Jason Alexander cat, man. This guy like drives into the corner, full send dive bombs this guy. I don't know what happened a few laps before. Irrelevant. The race for like 30th. And then drives it in there and then backs it into the wall at like mock Jesus. And then goes on the radio and bitches about the other guy. Like his out could have been something simple like I don't know, man. Just the buffoonery, clownery. I mean, that's gonna be a bonehead nominee for sure. Also, speaking about Tony Bridger, we just mentioned in the chat here by our friend Tim Henderson, she ends up, I don't know what happened. She ends up in a wreck with Matt Crafton and Ben Rhodes, which I feel like is the most perfect photo for just completely garbage seasons. Like two champions of the sport, Matt Crafton and Ben Rhodes, have had like the worst, most god-awful years like you could even imagine. And then Tony Bridger being an absolute flop and failure in the Truck Series. I mean, that was just encapsulated the entire season. I don't know what the hell was going on there. The replay was terrible. To speak on Tim Anderson's point, the broadcasters are just awful, and the camera work was just awful there too because we got that terrible replay of it. But yeah, it's just just weird stuff like that, man. Let's go over the standings real quick. I did not pull that up ahead of time, so let me just pull that up right now so we could talk about it going into the round of 8 for the Truck Series, which again, why are we doing a round of 10 and a round of 8? Why don't we just eliminate 6, and get straight to the round of 4? I don't doesn't make any sense. But let's see. Moving into the round of 8, we're going to have Tyler Ankrum currently tied with Ty Majeski. Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, obviously up at the top. Daniel Hebrick, Ty Majeski. Currently your championship 4 in at the moment. Grant Enfinger 3 out, Rajas 5 out, Caden Honeycutt 7 out. This could be a tight battle. It's gonna be a tight battle. These next few races. We got the Roval, obviously. We got Martinsville, which is the cutoff race, and then what was the other race in between there? I'm already blanking on what the other Truck Series races is. Not is it Talladega? Yeah, Talladega. So yeah, it's Talladega, the Roval Talladega, and then Martinsville. No, it's not. I am wrong. No, I am right. Yeah, that's a rough slate, man. Talladega, the Roval, and Martinsville, dude. Like, oh, I don't. I was gonna give a prediction on who I thought made the championship 4, but with that slate, dude, it's open for anybody. I mean, we know Enfinger can win Talladega. I mean, he can absolutely go onto that race like he did last year and absolutely freaking dominate it, lock himself straight into the championship 4. So I would put Enfinger as a favorite at Dega. Roval's interesting. Corey Haim's pretty quick on the road courses. He's proved it this year. Kane Honeycutt, I would put as a guy at Martinsville. You saw what he did earlier in the spring there. Daniel Hemrick, I don't know about Daniel Hemrick. I'm not a believer in him at all. Tyler Ankrum has been like a sleeper all year long. Does he have anything to challenge? I don't think so. Man, I don't know. This is going to be an interesting championship 4 for the Truck Series, but I do guarantee, I guarantee Heim's going to make the championship 4. And I feel like Riggs will too. Riggs, Martinsville's a great track for him. He ran good at Dega last year till he had some issues late. Roval is going to be a little bit of an interesting one for him. I mean, if you could survive the Roval and then put yourself in position, like if you get like a solid top 10 finish at the Roval, maybe score a little bit of stage points, or maybe even top 15 and score some stage points, I think it'd be all right going into Dega. Dega is just better of just not getting wrecked. I think it'd be fine there. And then Martinsville is basically open for the top guys to win that. Like Haim, Riggs, Honeycutt, any of those guys I feel like could win that. Hemrick won it earlier this year off of circumstance, obviously, but he could win it again. Who knows? I don't know. It's going to be an interesting battle for the Truck Championship. Michelin Pilot Challenge. I'm not going to touch too much on this one, but we did have a McLaren 1-2. The number 44 ends up getting the win. Did not see that coming out of McLaren, to be honest with you. Their GT4 program has been hit and miss this year. They had a good run at Daytona, run off rip, and then ever since then, they've just been kind of mid to bad. So I didn't expect them to have a 1-2 finish this weekend in Grand Sport. They did that. And then let's give a clap up for the Cooper team, man. The number 99 ends up getting the win for Cooper, their first win in TCR in their program's history. Big time win for Cooper. We've been picking them as dark horses week in, week out here on the channel. Yes, they did it on strategy. I watched a little bit of this yesterday after I got home from my run. Or I was listening to it while I was running and then watched kind of the end of it when I was done with my run last night. Interesting race, interesting strategy. Congratulations to Cooper winning the Michelin Pilot Challenge Series race at Indianapolis this weekend. Next, we'll talk about F1, then we'll jump into the 6-hour battle at the bricks, and then we'll round off with the Cup Series here for race recaps. Formula One, Oscar Piastri. Man, I don't even know how to put this, man. Like, I've been saying it for the last month or two that he's not winning the World Championship. Like, somehow, some way, McLaren's going to screw him out of it. Well, he just did it himself this weekend. Jumps the start initially. So then he jumps the start. He's going to get the penalty. But for some reason in his brain, I don't know if he just decided, like, I jumped the start. Let's just stop here for a second. Then we'll go. Screwed Alonso. Alonso got a penalty, too, for jumping the start as well. But he was just trying to avoid Piastri. I don't know what that Big Daddy FIA was thinking on that one either. But then not only that, Piastri's in the back of the pack after botching the start, ends up putting in the wall. I mean, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like, that's like Piastri made one mistake at Australia earlier this year, the opening round, in the rain, and has been basically flawless since then. McLaren had no speed this weekend to begin with. I mean, they qualified like garbage. But you can see McLaren's cracks breaking through. I mean, and that's what we'll talk about Max here in a second. But it's just uncharacteristic by Piastri. Unbelievable. It cuts the gap down from him and Norris down to 25 points. So Norris is one win in a Piastri DNF away from tying it up. It's not a good look, man. Like, Piastri better put himself together here, man. Like, to lose it here in the final stretch of the season would be absolutely tragic. Speaking about that, we also had a 10-second penalty for Albon getting into Colapinto. That was kind of a ridiculous move, especially racing for like 18th and 19th, like dead last on the field. That pretty crazy. Colapinto seat is on fire. It looks like Aaron is going to be a potential replacement for him. Him and Aaron are both battling for that second Alpine seat in 2026. Who knows who's going to get it? I don't know how I feel about Colapinto in general. Like, I'm still kind of high on him because I've seen some of the results he had last year, which really impressed me. Especially coming out of F2, I didn't think he had it. And then I watched him get up at F1 a few times, those select starts last year. And he just impressed the hell out of me with just great runs with a dying Alpine team. And then, or with Williams last year. And then he jumps in this year kind of like as a reserve driver with who was the guy that was in the car at the beginning there? I keep blanking on his name. It's so irrelevant. The Australian dude. I don't know. Irrelevant. It doesn't matter. He's not even there anymore. But then he gets again into the Alpine and replaces him. And he's just been awful, dude. He's just been terrible. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a combination of him, the car. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if he could get another opportunity at it. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that they're going to cut ties with Colapinto and his F1 career is going to come to an end. Let's talk about Norris. Another awful pit stop by the McLaren team. This is becoming a trend. The best part about this, though, he loses multiple spots, ends up relegating himself back to P7, which he probably would have finished P5, I think, if it would have played out correctly, because he would have been ahead of Leclerc, obviously. He would have probably been ahead of Yuki, probably ahead of Liam Lawson, who finished 5th, which is great. Shout out Liam Lawson, a great run. He'll be a nominee for Driver of the Week this week as well. But then I think the best meme of the week, I saw it on X. I should have posted it on the Discord because it was absolutely hilarious. But Yuki Tsunoda, or there was a meme with the team at Red Bull radioing into Yuki. Hey, Yuki, Lando had a bad pit stop. You should let him by. And Yuki responds, but I drive for Red Bull. I was laughing so hard when I read that, man. That was just the funniest thing, dude. But I drive for Red Bull. After all the shenanigans of everybody letting freaking Lando get away with basically murder, dude. Like, I thought that was so funny. But Yuki did have a good finish P6. Also, Max Verstappen, dominant win. Reeling in 2 back-to-back wins in back-to-back Grand Prix. That little summer break was exactly what Max needed. That team is firing on all cylinders. I saw another meme. It was like, McLaren's like, we got the best car on the grid. And then it was Red Bull. We have Max Verstappen. I thought that was just hilarious, man. Yeah, Max Verstappen closes the gap down to 69 points behind Piastri now. So he's in reach. He's in reach. Tom kind of hinted at this last week. He said, man, it's going to be interesting if we could see a Max Verstappen just absolute comeback tour at the end of the season to claim the championship. I was doubting it like 2 weeks ago, but now, dude, like, there is a chance. There is an outside chance, man. Especially if McLaren keeps fumbling and tripping over their lower appendage like Hung Money seems to do all the time. Whew. Max Verstappen could steal this world championship, dude. Wouldn't that be a sight to see? To see Zach Brown on his little knees, like a little baby boy, crying and whining that he loses the world championship. God, I would love to see it, man. Love to see it. Great job by Sainz as well. Let's mention Carlos Sainz. Ran basically top 3 all day long. Fantastic run for Carlos Sainz. I'm going to nominate him as Driver of the Week. Gets a podium for Williams. Good stuff for him. We saw Albon early in the year really kind of carrying Williams and having those great results. And now it's kind of switched, man. Like, I say it all the time. I think Carlos Sainz is one of the top 5 drivers in Formula 1. It's a shame that he is in a Williams situation right now. Put him in, I think if he was in a McLaren right now, like, he'd be running better than Lando. Sorry to tell you, Lando femcells. Yeah, Carlos Sainz is legit, man. That was a great run by him, especially at a track like Baku, man. That's a tough track to navigate. We saw a lot of drama, it's a really hard track to pass. It's a really hard track to navigate. There's so many opportunities. We saw Piastri, your world championship leader, put it in the wall. It's like we've seen shenanigans there and craziness there before. And Carlos Sainz put together a great job. Great job by Williams as well. They didn't panic on strategy. They played it through. Put him in position where at the end he could charge on them fresher tires. They put him on the hards at the end. Was able to withstand and hold off. Especially, I think what really helped him too was that bad pit stop by Norris, because Norris potentially could have finished P3. I mean, if they had a good pit stop and he would have got ahead of that little bit of train that he got stuck behind there was an opportunity he could have ran down Sainz for that final podium spot. But fortunately, Williams didn't panic. They stayed true to their strategy and they got the job done. Great job by them this weekend. Carlos to the 48. Oh, in NASCAR? Put him in NASCAR, the 48. Yeah, I'm down for that. Honestly, let's do it. Let's put Carlos. Let's put Carlos in Dodge Ram next year because it's looking like Dodge Ram is going to be in a world of hurt next year if they have the Tony Breininger, Frankie Muniz, Cletus McFarland, Big Willie Mullins, and Haley Deegan lineup that it's looking like they're going to have. Uh, let's put Carlos Sainz in one of those Dodge Rams next year. I'm here for it. I like the idea, Kyle. Let's make it happen. Let's start a petition. Let's get it done. I mean, that's all I have for the F1 race. We'll talk about constructor standings because it is tightening up again. Mercedes, they're in P2, obviously trying to P1's out of reach, but McLaren's way too far ahead. But Ferrari, they're 4 points behind Mercedes, right there in third, and then Red Bull, 18 points back. I didn't think Red Bull was going to climb back into the championship fight, guys. Here they are, 18 back, and Max Verstappen's on an absolute heater, the best driver. Max Verstappen. Yeah, absolutely having an amazing turnaround to his season is Max Verstappen. Unbelievable. We'll see, man. A few more races left in the F1 calendar, man. It's gonna be crazy, dude. Down to the end. I think if Max Verstappen makes this World Championship rebound and comes from what he was like 80 something points back at one point, if he makes a charge back to this World Championship, dude, this will be one of the greatest clutch performance seasons. We'll be talking about this for years to come. For years to go, especially if they win the constructor or if they finish second in constructors and then he claims the championship. Unbelievable. With this freaking dump truck of a car, Red Bull's not good. They're not good. Unbelievable. I'm pulling for it. I want to see Max Verstappen win the championship. I think it could happen. Alrighty, let's talk about the tire rack battle on the bricks this weekend. Another fantastic race for IMSA, the penultimate race of the championship. LMP2 shenanigans. Let's just get into all the LMP2 shenanigans to start it off with. We say it every time. IMSA is just must watch every time an LMP2 car hits the track. You're going to see some of the crazy stuff. We had George Kurtz early in the race making a dive bomb. I think we're like a minute and a half into the race. We're like on lap 2, I think. He ends up just absolutely dive bombing and sends himself off in the gravel. Brings out our first safety car of the race. We also had the number 52 PR1 teams running over the inner Euro pool for no absolute freaking reason. It was absolute shenanigan, dumbassery there. What else do we have at LMP2? We had the number 8 tower, basically getting dumped by the United driven by Carrera. I don't know what the hell he was doing. I mean, there was probably like 8 boneheads of the week I could put right here straight out of LMP2. I'm not going to do that because obviously we expected that. I mean, if you watch IMSA like you're supposed to, you would know that by now, but just absolute shenanigans. And we had United on United crime. Late in the race, we had Euro Interpol, and then both United cars battling for like P6, and they're running 3 wide before we get into that final, or that off the inside section going into the turns. I guess it'd be turn 2 section, the reverse section going back into that little chicane. And they're running 3 wide there, which is not a spot you go 3 wide. And then the 2 United cars just absolutely collide into each other and both go spinning whirly-woos through the grass. I mean, that was just clownery in itself. Then we had Bourdais. I mean, making one of the most un-Bourdais-esque moves I've seen. Drops a wheel. And then not only drops a wheel, like he's trying to make a pass to the inside in a section of the track where it's basically a 1 lane anyway. Instead of just backing off, like just staying behind him, staying in his wake and trying to set up a good exit to the next corner and try to have a good straightaway down the front stretch to make the move, he gets so impatient, he drops a wheel. And then when he drops a wheel, he tags the United car, sends the United car absolutely flying. And then the last caution of the race, this was like 7-8 minutes to go in the race. I don't remember who was driving the CrowdStrike car. It's irrelevant because it was absolutely buffoonery, but he ends up sending it to the inside, coming onto the front straightaway, showing no, like, it looked like the Jason Alexander move. He sends it in on the inside, like, of 3 cars. They got GTD traffic in the mix, LMP2s, ends up just sending it in there and wipes himself out. Just stupid. CrowdStrike had a rough race, man. So did United. I mean, United made themselves look like clowns this weekend. And then you had, what was it, the number 65 Mustang late in the race, too, like halfway through the race. They're leading the race with Vucevic behind the wheel. He's trying to hold off the BMW, and he's got probably a 2 car length gap going into turn 1. locks up the brakes, completely overdrives the corner, locks up the brakes. I don't know if he was mirror watching. I don't know what he was doing, or if he lost track of his braking zone, or had a lapse of judgment, a brain fart. I don't. His brain just shut off. Was having a freaking stroke. I have no idea what was going on there. Locks up the brakes, rams right into the number 40 Cadillac. Basically ruined their race, and then ruins his own race. Excuse me, talking too fast. I'm having some great time here talking about this bullshit, but drives it in there, absolutely wipes himself out, ends up taking himself out of contention of the race. Fortunate for them, the Mustang, the sister car, ends up winning the race in GTD Pro. Fantastic strategy by them. It was good to see somebody beat BMW. BMW's kind of been the menace, but Ford kind of turned into the menace there for a minute. Also, the Inception number 70 team wins the race. But the weirdest thing, going down the front straightaway, they are in clean air. And then an LMP2 car going by them on the front straightaway kind of just goes by him and then kind of fills right up in front of him, right back into like the outside lane, preferred lane before we get into turn one. And I don't know if it was a low pressure area. I don't know if the hood pins weren't attached. I don't know what was going on there. But you see the hood kind of ripple. It starts rippling like this. Next thing you know, the hood goes flying, loses the hood, brings out a caution. They end up somehow winning after that whole scenario, which was absolutely mind-boggling in itself. Just shows how exciting, I guess, the GTD race was in this one. Dominant performance by Cadillac. Give a shout out to them. Big dominant performance, and the Action Express ends up winning. I thought it was going to be a BMW week. We saw them win this race last year. They're in that championship fight, which we'll talk about here in a second. I thought this was going to be the chance for BMW to really make a statement and prove maybe they can win this championship this year. Fight for it. Didn't happen this weekend. Didn't have the pace. Porsche was not to be found. I honestly, halfway through the race, I forgot Porsche was even in the race. They were back in the depths of hell with the freaking Valkyrie back there. I don't know what was going on there. We did have a NASCAR moment in this race with the number 80 Mercedes end up having a loose wheel, which was very rare for IMSA in general to see loose wheels. You see maybe one a year, maybe one every 2 years. I haven't seen one this year. Finally got one this weekend. Need to fire that NASCAR crew, send them back to the truck series because they lose a wheel. Ridiculous. LMP2, who survived LMP2 to win? That would be the number 11 TDS team. I guess the best way to put it with LMP2, if you are not part of any headlines, if your car does not get shown on camera at all during the race, you're probably going to win 99% of the time. And that's what happened. TDS didn't make a clown of themselves, didn't make a fool out of themselves. They let all the other LMP2s like Tower, United, and Europol, PR1, CrowdStrike. We saw all of those teams have absolute shenanigans and troubles this weekend. The TDS team didn't. Played a good strategy. Ends up finding victory lane. I already mentioned Cadillac winning in GTP. LMP2, obviously, with the TDS team. Mustang, like I said, sister car wins in GTD Pro. And the Inception team, after that hood coming off, which was one of the craziest things I've seen this year in IMSA, minus the good old Tommy Milner back there with the double birds, or with the bird out the window, losing their hood. They end up winning in GTD. We got one race left in the IMSA championship. We'll talk more in depth about the standings leading into that race, who's in the fight for GTP, GTD, GTD Pro, and LMP2 championships when we get closer to that race next month. But as it stands, the GTP Drivers' Championship, the Porsche team, number 6, with Dramane and Campbell, they've got a 131-point lead over the sister car with Tandy and Nazar in the 7. And then they've got a 144-point lead over BMW. It's still mathematical for BMW to win the championship. Still mathematical for the sister Porsche team to win the championship. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Unless Porsche shows up like they did at Indianapolis and BMW has like the race of their lives, qualifies pole, leads the most laps, and running up front all day, and then they win the race. I think Porsche's got the championship secured. We'll talk more in depth about that in a couple weeks when we get closer to the actual finale of Petit Le Mans here in the next month. Alrighty. Excuse me. We're going to grab my water, but we're going to keep muscling through this. Let's round it off with the Cup Series race. Let's talk about old Denny Hamlin having a major crash out with his teammate Ty Gibbs. This is why I don't like Denny Hamlin. Arrogant, self-entitled, little man syndrome, slight autism. Actually, heavy dose of autism. We'll throw that in the mix. Uh, One thing I cannot stand about racing is when people bitch that people are racing them too hard. There's one thing if people are holding you up, but if someone's racing you really hard, why are you complaining? Would Denny of Hamlin have done what Ty Gibbs was doing to him in that scenario? Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen Denny Hamlin be an absolute nuisance out on the track, hold people up, put you in the wall, take you out. I've seen it. Was Ty Gibbs doing anything wrong? No. He was running his line. He gave the inside open to Denny Hamlin. He gave him all the opportunity in the world to make a clean pass on the bottom. Denny threw a tissy hissy fit, had a crash out, dumps the boss's grandson. This is why Denny Hamlin will not win a championship, guys. This happens every year. Every single year, he's in the fight for the championship. Something like this happens, and I was waiting for this moment to happen. And right when it happened and he dumped Gibbs, I said, this is the moment where Denny Hamlin has lost his mind. He's not winning the championship. I'm crossing him off of my championship list. He ain't winning it, and it's official. Dega Boys confirmed, put the stamp of approval on it. Denny Hamlin's not winning the championship this year. This was that moment, that turning point that I was waiting for because it happens every year. He always gets too much into his own head and does something stupid like this. And when a teammate who's racing you hard early in the race, this isn't the end of the race. This isn't a must get this position point situation in a cutoff race. This is the first race of the round. He's got a plenty of enough point gap. We'll talk about it here in a second with the guys that are outside the cutoff line. Unnecessary. He's in his own head again, making mistakes, has a crash out. He's not winning the championship. Official. He's not winning the championship. So cross him off your guys' list. Denny Hamlin has officially crossed into Dickie Hamlin mode, and he is done. He's cooked for the year. Let's talk about that restart with Brad Keselowski. 5 wide at New Hampshire. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. He tags the inside wall, ends up running into SVG, caused a little bit of a chain reaction. That was sign of desperation. I understand like those restarts or like the time to make those moves and get those passes done, but that was just desperation. I mean, he just tagged the inside wall. I mean, that was pretty ridiculous to be honest. John Under Nemechek had a massive crash up on the inside of Riley Herbst. Sent it to the inside, went around. I picked him as dark horse. I thought I mentioned on the podcast that he had his incident this weekend. I've been impressed with Legacy Motor Club as of late. They have been doing pretty good. And this weekend was not a good weekend. I thought this was going to be a weekend they were going to shine. Not the case whatsoever. Penske dominant. I kind of saw this coming. I picked Bell to win last week on the podcast. This is like his best track. Didn't happen. I mean, obviously Bell was good. He was top 10 all day, but damn, Penske was dominant. It was Blaney and Logano, Barry, all three of them up at the front of the field. Cindric was nowhere to be found, which was kind of weird and suspicious. Figured Cindric would maybe have something to show in this race. Didn't come to fruition. I think he's cooked. I said that last week anyway, but damn, man. Look at Blaney, man. What a legend, bro. So inspirational. I think Blaney wins the championship, man. I'm not gonna stick away from Bell. I think it's between Bell, Blaney. I think Logano's gonna make it now. That fourth spot is now wide open. I think it could be Briscoe. I'm not putting Hamlin in there. I can't do it in good faith. I've seen this story play out too many times. Can't pick Hamlin for a championship four. Can't do it. Won't do it. Stay mad about it. All right. Standings after this weekend's race, the first race of the round of 12. Chastain, he's 12 back. Cindric's 19 back. Reddick's 23 back. Reddick didn't show up. And Bubba. I mean, Tom warned me. I said Bubba's gonna make the championship four this year. I had a good feeling. I was gonna pass between him and Briscoe because I had Logano out. I had obviously Bell and Blaney. I had Logano out. I had Hamlin and Briscoe and Bubba. I kind of went back and forth on. Bubba's cooked. This was not the performance we needed to see. This good thing you're going to Kansas this weekend, probably the best track on the schedule for Bubba Wallace. He's had wins there, success there. If he can't perform this weekend and get a win, it's over. Bubba's cooked. So We'll see, man. We'll see. I think your best 8 drivers are currently your top 8 in the playoffs. Once it gets down to the round of 4 or it gets down to the round of 8, who makes it? Who knows? With Talladega in that round, Martinsville, obviously, it's gonna be an interesting final round. But I'm gonna chalk off Reddick and Bubba this weekend. They have to show out. That's about it. Chastain, I knew he was cooked to begin with. I think Cindric's also cooked. I don't think either of them are gonna advance. Elliott had a better race this weekend, a better start to the round than I expected. I kind of had him out this round. Um, I had Logano out this round too. I didn't. Damn, I'm looking stupid. But it is what it is. It's what we do here at the Dega Boys. We eat crow. All right, those are that was the recap of all the races this weekend. Drivers of the week: Carlos Sainz, P3 in the Formula One race. Clap it up for McLaren or for Williams. Great job by them. Also, Liam Lawson with the RB get one free Toro Rosso out Cash App Visa RB Toro Racing Bulls AlphaTauri whatever team. Yeah, he ends up getting 5th. Probably the best run he's had all year. Minus that race at Monaco where he absolutely parked the bus on the entire field and had everybody lapped, which was also comical and a great race in itself. But great race by him this weekend. I think he desperately needed it to save his Formula One career. So he got it done this weekend. And then Michael McDowell, I'll give him a shout out this weekend. He got a P8 finish in the Cup race. I'll give him a Driver of the Week nominee. He's been irrelevant at best this year. Finally had a good performance. So shout out to Michael McDowell this weekend. And then Boneheads of the Week. Jason Alexander in the Truck Series with that major crash out and that full said moment in the Truck Series. That was absolutely comical. Also, Frederick Versovich in the IMSA race, the guy that was driving the number 65 Ford Mustang running into the number 40 Acura from the lead, or the 40 Cadillac from the lead. Or no, it was the 40, yeah, the 40 Cadillac. From the lead, locking up the brakes. Just was ridiculously dumb. And then Denny Hamlin, W. Ty Gibbs in his major crash out as well. I feel like that deserves a nominee for Bonehead of the Week. Cooks his championship hopes all in 1 week. And I ain't even mad about it. Alrighty. Races this weekend. Let's get into previews and predictions and favorite star courses and what to expect for this weekend's races with the ARCA Xfinity and Cup Series at Kansas and the World Endurance Championship at Fuji for the 6-hour race, their penultimate race of the World Endurance Championship. ARCA Series notable entries. We got Star Poli, the number 17 this weekend. Rio Ruggiero will be driving the number 18 for Joe Gibbs Racing. Leland Honeyman making a start with Venerini in the 20, as well as Corey Day making another ARCA start in the 77 this weekend. Xfinity, Brennan Queen for Colling this weekend. Excuse me. In the number 11. I've been saying it. Maybe he will have an Xfinity ride next year. Maybe he'll be part of that RAM program. We'll find out. But Brennan Queen getting a very well-deserved opportunity this weekend with colleague Rajah Caruth driving for Hedrick Motorsports in the 17, make another Xfinity Series start. Justin Bonsignor in the number 19 for JGR. We'll see how that goes. Star Poli running double duty will be the number 24 for Sam Hunt Racing. Austin Green, the number 32 for Jordan Anderson Racing again, man. I'm excited. I think this guy's got a lot of potential. We'll see what he can do this weekend in the 32. And then Cole Raz with AM Racing in the number 76. And then Cup Series, one extra noble entry this weekend. That'll be JJ Yaley, NY Racing, number 44 machine. All right, let's make our predictions. In the ARCA Series race, the Reese's 150 on Friday. My pick, man, I want to go Brennan Queen so bad, but I think that Joe Gibbs Racing gets revenge. They get back to the top step of the podium for the ARCA Series. I'm going to go Gio Ruggiero this weekend in number 18. This is going to be a good telltale sign to see. I'm still on the fence with him. I don't know if he's that great of a driver. I don't know if he's having rookie slumps in the Truck Series. I really don't know what to think of him yet. I think this is a good opportunity this weekend to jump in an ARCA car. No pressure with the point standings or anything with the Truck Series being off. Let's see what he can do this weekend. Let's see if he can win this ARCA race. I'm going to pick him to win. And then my dark horse, I'm going with Andy Jesus, man. He's had good runs at these mile and a halves in the past. I think this weekend at Kansas is a great opportunity for Andy Jesus to get a solid top 5 finish. We'll see if he can survive a lot of the carnage. Maybe he'll have the pace. I think he'll be anywhere from that 6 to 10 range. Maybe a top 5 would be a freaking awesome run for Andy Jesus this weekend. The Xfinity Series, the Kansas Lottery 300 on Saturday. Man, is there anybody else to pick than the man that drives the 88 machine in the Xfinity Series? I'm going with Connor Zillage this weekend. He's the best driver in NASCAR, period. Without a doubt in my mind. No questions asked. Don't even question it. He is the best. He is the best. Generational talent. Absolutely amazing. He's going to win again. Can add another winning sticker to that car. Lock himself into the next round of the playoffs. Give me Zilly. Give me CZ. Give me Zilly. Zilich. Boom. 88 team. Junior Motorsports. Dominant performance. Let's get her done. And then my dark horse, I'm going to go with Austin Green. Again, I'm really high on this guy, man. We saw him win the ARCA race at Charlotte earlier this year. Every time he jumps in that Jordan Anderson racing machine on a road course, he's always a top 10 threat. Let's see, man. I think that this is a good opportunity for him to get a top 10. I think there's gonna be some shakeups and some different things that we see this week in the Xfinity Series that we don't normally see. There might be a little bit of pressure and anxiety because that cut line is interesting with the Xfinity Series, considering how those top two with Allgaier, well, top three kind of, are really safe on points, but it's like everywhere down, it seems like it's open for anybody. Who's going to make mistakes this weekend? Who's going to have the drama? Who's going to wreck? It's like that's kind of where I'm looking at with this type of race. First race of the round, anything could happen. We see a little bit of shenanigans. I'm going to bet on the air of we do see some shenanigans this weekend. Who's a guy that can capitalize to get the most out of the equipment he has? That would be a guy like Austin Green. I'm going to take him this weekend as my dark horse for a top 10. All right. Then on Sunday, the World Dirt Championship, the 6 hours of Fuji. Man, this is a good race. Last year, if you guys remember watching this race, and I'll talk about that with my dark horse pick, but man, this was like the race that put Valentino Rossi, I feel like, on the map last year. He was an absolute Chad in this race, made incredible moves, was a human highlight reel for most of the race. I mean, it was like the point where the camera just followed Valentino Rossi around the track every time, like the whole lap. Just what is he gonna do next? Throwing bombs, sliders, dives, like just insane crossover moves. That'll be my dark horse pick for GT3, by the way. But my favorite in hypercar, excuse me. I'm gonna go with the number 38 Jota. Cadillac is turned up there at the end of the year. We saw them start off really fast at the first round at Qatar, and then they end up running each other over, and they've been pretty non-existent since. They really dropped the ball there at Le Mans. They dropped the ball in a few other races, especially this last race at Coda. I felt like they were going to have a good, legit shot to compete with Ferrari up at the front. We're not able to. I think this is a weekend that Jota finds himself in victory lane. I'm going to go with the number 38. We'll see what they can do this weekend in this race, but I think that they can get the job done. I think they have all the ability to do it. The BOPs haven't been too hard on Cadillac as of late. They haven't been too bad. Obviously, Ferrari's getting the lightest BOPs, and they're the ones dominating the season. But I think there's one win in it this year for Cadillac, and it's this weekend at Fuji. My dark horse, I always do. I'm sticking with the number 36, Mick Schumacher. Jules Junon, one of my favorite drivers in the world, sports car racing wise. He's just absolutely cinema behind the wheel as well. I want to see that number 36 Alpine team have some success. Maybe a podium's in the reach, maybe a top 5. They've shown glimpses, man. They've shown glimpses of success and speed. They just can't finish the job or get it done. Let's see, man. 6-hour race, a long one. If they can qualify like they have been qualifying, they can stay up front and they don't mess up strategy, don't have any weird wrecks or shenanigans or putting cars in the wall. This is a great opportunity for them this weekend to get a solid top 5 finish. And shoot, man, wouldn't it be a miracle if they can win this race? And then when it comes to my favorite in GT3, I'm going with the number 33 Corvette. They've been pretty much the anchor team in GT3 this year. Porsche kind of took a step back. McLaren showed glimpses from time to time. Ford has shown glimpses from time to time. Aston Martin has been pretty much a miss this year. Mercedes has been a miss this year. I'm going to go with Corvette. I think they get the job done this weekend. And then my dark horse, which is it's crazy to say it's a dark horse because I feel like this team should have won multiple races by now. They've got the most cinematic, most human highlight reel driver in the grid, and that is Valentino Rossi. This is the race that put him on the map last year. This is the race that showed absolute cinema. This is the race that proved to me that this man not only can get it done on a motorcycle, he can get it done behind the wheel of a race car as well. He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. If that team could just put it together, the BMWs have been fast. They've got the favorable BOP this weekend. Is this the weekend? Is this the weekend, guys? That Valentino Rossi wins? Is this the weekend? Man, I'm here for it. If he wins, I'm going to be the happiest guy on this podcast next Tuesday. I will be ranting about Valentino Rossi for 15 minutes. Be prepared. I'm excited. Let's go Valentino Rossi. Let's go BMW. Let's go number 46. Come on, teammates, put it together. Let's see some more of that Valentino Rossi magic and cinema that we saw last year. Let's see it once again this year. Come on, guys. Let's get her done. Let's get her done, boys. Let's have it happen. All right. And then for the Cup Series race, the Casino, Hollywood Casino 400 on Sunday. Second race of the round of 12 for the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. Who to pick? Part of me wants to take Bubba. I really do. I feel like New Hampshire had to be a fluke. This is one of his best tracks, right? Right. I'm doing it. I'm going Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace wins this weekend. Like I said, previewing the points just a little bit ago. This is it. This is it. He's cooked if he can't perform this weekend. This is a must-win race for Bubba Wallace. In every essence of the words. 23 points out. He's not going to be able to point his way back in. This is his best track. Those Toyotas have been really good at Kansas, specifically with the Denny Hamlin efforts that we've seen, but I think he's cooked. I was going to pick him to win this race last week, but then after what I saw this weekend, I can't pick him. I'm going to go Bubba Wallace this weekend. Bubba Wallace is going to shock the world. He's going to win this race. He's going to lock himself into the round of 8 in a must-win, back against the wall situation. We've seen him do it. Crazy things at Kansas before. I'm picking him. I'm doing it. I have the faith. I have the confidence. My championship 4 pick with Bubba Wallace, I think is still alive. I think if he gets this win this weekend, this will be a career-defining moment for Bubba Wallace. I'm taking him. Then my dark horse, I'm going with Hosen Karsovar. I think he gets the job done this weekend with a solid top 5. I think he could legitimately win this race too. He's been good at Kansas. This feels like he's like that close to winning a race. Like that close to winning a race. Could it be this weekend? I think it could be, man. I think it could be. I think Hosen Karsovar is a great dark horse pick this weekend. All right, now fantasy lineup for this weekend. I'm gonna go Hamlin, just because I think he's gonna get good points. I'm gonna go Chase Elliott. I think this is another good track for him. I'll go Joey Logano, just for strategy, whatever. I think he's gonna make the round of 8. I botched on that whole Joey Logano pick. I need to jump on the bandwagon now. And then also I'm gonna go Hosen Karsovar, like I mentioned with my pick. And then I'm gonna go Tyler Reddick as well. I just don't want to pick Bubba on my fantasy because I don't want to risk it. I'm kind of putting all my all my marbles in the bag, all my chips in the table, on Bubba Wallace winning this race this weekend. I'm gonna go on my fantasy. I'm gonna go on the caution of air and kind of just pick Reddick instead. Matchups. Let's go Briscoe versus Bubba. This is a good matchup because these are both my fringe championship 4 contenders. We're gonna find out a lot about Bubba this weekend. What kind of resolve and fight he has. But I'm gonna take Briscoe. Like I said, I'm gonna stay on the side of air and caution because Tom mentioned it last week. He's not a buyer in this Bubba Wallace championship hype, and he's making himself look like a genius, making him look like a dumbass. And I'm gonna go on the caution here and go Briscoe over Bubba. Next is Reddick or Chastain. This is an easy matchup for me. Trackhouse has been garbage this year. I mean, Chastain. This is a good track for him too. I just don't see him performing well. I'm gonna take Reddick. Elliott versus Logano. This is a good matchup as well. I'm gonna go Elliott. Against all my good intuition and judgment, I'm going to go Elliott. I don't know why. I'm just going to do it. And then the next one is Hamlin versus Larson, which is a atypical matchup that you would expect at Kansas because it seems like these two every year are battling for the win at Kansas against each other. I'm going to go Hamlin over Larson because hung money. That's it. That's the only reason. All right. That is my NASCAR fantasy lineup for this weekend's race at Kansas. That's all I've got for this podcast, guys. I didn't get deep into the broadcast like Tim Henderson wanted me to. We'll save that for another week. Next time Tom gets back, we're going to try and do a full IndyCar season driver grade recap. That's kind of our plan over the next couple weeks. I want to do that before we get to depth or get closer to the NASCAR championships. We can kind of get that out of the way and kind of get our rankings for their 2025 driver grades. Also, like I said, watch parties are going to come back. We just haven't got a plan or a schedule yet for when we want to do that. I got to get back with Tom. Tom's been busy and on the road traveling, so he hasn't been able to hit a few of these podcasts the last few weeks. But we'll get a plan and a schedule together. Maybe make our debut back for Petit Le Mans. I know I would like to do championship 4 watch parties. Maybe do like what we did last year, Trucks Xfinity Cup 3 days in a row as well. There's a few things I want to do. We'll do some F1 watch parties towards the end of the year as well. So those will come back. It's just a matter of which ones we're going to get to and which ones we're going to do here to close out the season. Also, uh, next weekend, back for the or next Tuesday, back for another podcast. So make sure you guys tune in. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Stay up to date with everything happening here on the YouTube channel. If you guys want to follow us all of our social medias. All those links are in the description below, as well as on the bottom of your screen for you to go follow. We really appreciate it when you guys go and give us a share, follow, a like, whatever it is, over on all of our social media platforms. We're also streaming on Kick, so make sure you guys get Kick downloaded, get your account created, go follow us over there. You can watch stream. I'm simulcasting both on Kick as well as here on YouTube. We much greatly appreciate it if you guys go and subscribe and follow us over there on Kick. Also, make sure you guys go and check out our merch store. That link is in the description below. Go buy you some Dega Boys swag. We got all kinds of merchandise on there, from hats to t-shirts to shorts to sweatpants. I mean, we got coffee mugs, bumper stickers. I mean, it's an endless amount. Hoodies. I mean, endless amount of stuff there on our Dega Boys merch store. All those proceeds help us make better and better content for you guys here on YouTube, as well as helping us to be able to bring back the watch parties here over the next month or so. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in here on this awesome Tuesday. I really appreciate you guys in the chat there with Tim Henderson, Kyle Hendricks. Thanks for coming and tuning in, checking out the podcast, talking about racing here on a fine Tuesday evening. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the races this weekend. It should be a good slate with some NASCAR and a little bit of World Endurance Championship. And I'll be back next Tuesday for my recap of those races. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.